The police say its investigations have revealed that the story of an alleged planting of weed and cocaine in a vehicle of a commuter is false and a total fabrication. Social media has in the last few days been awash with an audio recording of a person claiming to be Dr. Patrick Asiedu leveling the allegation.
I'm Dr. Patrick Asiedu. Guys, there's something that happens to me and I feel like sharing it. I think it will happen to anybody. So I feel like sharing it. Okay, so this will happen. Friday, I was coming from Trasaco. Then I wanted to use the motorway to hit the main road. I stay at Kwashiman so that I can get home fast. So I met these policemen on the road. They are 4 in number. And they asked me to pull over. I did. When they came, they said I should come down from the car. They want to search me and search the car. I wasn't comfortable with it, but I feel like they are doing their work, so let me come out from the car. So I did as they said, and they went straight to my car. They checked it, and in just seconds I was there, and this policeman called me that I should come. And when it was like, okay, we can see that you have your tie, and he said, you're a doctor, right? I said, oh, yeah. Yes. I said, okay. Okay, Mr. Doctor, we don't have any problem with you, but what is this weed doing in your car? And I was like, what do you mean? He said, look under your seat. What is this weed doing there? And what is this cocaine doing over there? It was like cocaine and weed in my car. And it was like, yeah, look. Yes, and I watched it, and it was there. I found the weed and the cocaine there. And I was like, what? Cocaine and weed? What is this thing doing in my car? I have no any idea about it. And besides, my car is only me. I don't even have a that closest friend that I can say that, okay, I pick him, we go to party or something like that, that we will smoke or we will use cocaine. No. And they still insist that, no, it's for me. I said, no, I have no any idea about it. And they was like, okay, if that's the case, you have to pay 20,000. Otherwise, we will send you to the station and we will send you to Narcotics and Drugs Board. And I was like, this is whack. What do you mean? And this policeman was like, I should force touch the substance. And I said, I'm not going to do it. They should wait. So I called my brother. My brother is at the Southern Command of the Ghana Armed Force. So I called my brother. My brother came with his boys, and my brother was like, okay, no problem. Let's proceed to the station. When we got there, we wrote a statement, and my brother was like, so what? And they said, oh, we should go to Narcotics and control something board. So we were on our way going, then we got a call from their commander. He said that we should meet somewhere. So we arranged and we met. When we met, their commander was like, what exactly happened? And my brother explained it to them. And my brother told them that, hey, you people, I know my brother very well. So if you people don't tell the truth, this case will go wherever that it will go. And their commander was like, my brother should calm down. I don't know what happened. My brother was seriously angry and was like, we should go and do fingerprint. No, he's not listening to anything. We should go straight out and go and do fingerprint. So we went to the narcotic and they conducted the fingerprint. And it was their fingers on it. Charlie, brothers and sisters, as at now, I'm still on bed. Since Friday up to now, the trauma alone, I'm still on bed.
The police has since issued a statement. I'll share extracts of that with you, and there you have it on your screen. It says the police on the 18th January have arrested a man suspected to be the person in the audio tape describing an alleged elaborate incident of criminal behavior on the part of the police. Now, it goes on to say, in the audio tape, a man who introduced himself as Dr. Patrick Asiedu claimed that he had been stopped by police officers who planted substance suspected to be narcotics in his car and attempted to extort money from him. Police investigations so far have established that the man who has been arrested is in police custody and is indeed called Patrick Asiedu. He is an Uber driver and not a doctor. The investigations show that the entire story narrated in the audio tape is false and a total fabrication by the suspect. The supposed military intervention and alleged fight between the police officers and the military described in such dramatic detail in the audio tape are the vivid descriptions of having been taken to the Accra Central and East Legon Police Station, as well as the Narcotics Control Commissioner, equally false. The claims of fingerprints being taken are also untrue. Patrick Asiedu, the suspect, however, alleged that he had once witnessed a similar incident to what he described in the audio tape happen to one of his passengers. Meanwhile, in another audio tape that has come to the attention of the police, the suspect alleges to have met with the Inspector General of Police. We wish to categorically state that this claim is also false and should be disregarded. Investigations are still ongoing, and suspect Patrick Asiedu, who is currently in police custody, will be brought to face justice and is signed by Grisansa Krufish's Assistant Commissioner of Police and Director of Public Affairs. So former officer, police officer and member of the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament, Peter Tobu, and Mina Mensah, who is also Director of Africa Office of the Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, join us live with more on this. I'm grateful to have you, lady and gentlemen. Let me start with you, Honorable Tobu. What's your initial reaction to all that has happened?
So how are you? Happy New Year?
Many happy returns.
Great. For me, being the former police officer, I think that I'm quite excited because the power of social media has the positives and the negatives. Anything you drop on social media within seconds, it can go very far. And sometimes to correct an error that it has created becomes a huge challenge. Nobody in this country should expect to treat the Ghana Police Service as a bunch of angels. No. This is an organization that has a population of over 40,000 people. So it is very possible to find some very unprofessional people in uniform. And that is why the service has the service instructions that say, if you are found in uniform and you are behaving unprofessionally, the system will catch up with you and you will be thrown out. I am quite excited that the police administration has taken a very firm step to investigate the matter, dig deeper and get to the bottom of it. It is a possibility, it can happen, and it probably has happened, but for this particular one, I am encouraged by the steps taken by the IGP that we will have to get to the final step and know whether it is true or false. And if it is true, the police officers who are behind this should be dealt with. If it is false, the person who is pranking the Ghana Police Service and pranking the whole of the nation should also be shown the power of the law. This country needs to be a very disciplined country because collectively, that contributes to creating a very better Ghana Police Service.
There's been doubts over the period as to whether the police will not be biased investigating their own. I mean, what do you make of all of these perception out there? And do you think that the police should continue to investigate matters of this nature?
I think over the period we've been talking about the possibility of establishing the Civilian Complaint Commission, where probably a very independent body can actually delve into matters that has to do with police officers. But that notwithstanding, I think over the past years, the police have not done badly investigating themselves. Because the fact is, if you're able to get a bad nut out of the system, you create a better police organization for yourself. So if you do blue veiling, as we call it professionally, by covering up people who are doing bad stuff, gradually they get back into the system and they injure the whole image of the Ghana Police Service. I don't think any IGP will be wanting to do that. The Dr. George Akufuor-Dampari's administration has begun demonstrating full force that it doesn't matter who you are. All of us are Ghanaians. If your uniform is just a privilege for you to serve. If you are not willing to serve and you want to use the uniform to extort from the Ghanaian people, to bully the Ghanaian people, that is unprofessional. And if you are caught up with the service instructions, you will be dealt with. So let's believe that at least all of us as citizens also help the police be professional. If I have the facts, I have evidence, and I'm prepared to present the evidence to the police. You know, evidence is the game. When you have the evidence presented to the police cannot cover up in any way to protect their own. What is clear, and the person must be punished. So let's collectively support the police.
Let me bring in Mina. Mina, I just want to gauge your mood on the police's posture on this matter.
And thank you very much. From where I sit, it's an issue of the police's word against the suspect's word. And in situations like that, it is better if a neutral person investigates. Because at the end of the day, like the MP said, he's been a policeman before. He knows what happens in there. And like I said, the police is run by human beings from this very society, although sometimes they behave as if they are not part of the society. And things can happen. But who knows what happened? And so if the police investigates the whole issue and comes out and exonerates the policemen, because that is what the truth is, there's a very thin line between perception and reality. And because things have happened over the years, the credibility of the police is not as good as it ought to be. And that is why the Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative with our partners have been calling for an independent police complaint authority. In fact, we've gone further to even draft a framework which we presented to the Ministry of Interior as far back as 2018. We haven't received an official acknowledgement of whether they'll go forward. They had a meeting, and the posturing was more like, okay, we'll look at it. But I do not think there's an appetite for it from the state. Unfortunately, the police cannot set up an independent body to investigate itself. They do not have that mandate. They have an internal mechanism. The PPSD has been doing some work, yes, but at the end of the day, when you want the report, they will tell you that it's an operational document. It is not shared with the public. All you see is that maybe some officers would be dismissed. How does that help? So I think that it is something that in a democracy, in a serious democracy, structures are put in place so that issues like this can be investigated independently by an independent body. And when the reports come out, people would support it because they know that it is not the police who investigated themselves. And like, again, he said, in this era of social media, it is difficult to do things on the blind side and get away with it. You might get away with some, but you cannot get away with all. So I think that the push for the establishment of an independent police commission should be something that we take seriously as a country if we want to go forward and if we want credibility for the police and we want support for the police in the work that they are doing.
Mina, as we speak, and I agree with the point you made, that we need an independent body. But as we speak, that independent body is not there. In this case, the instant case, the police is investigating. What are your expectations of the police?
Well, my expectation is that they will do what they normally do. They will investigate and tell us that it's an operational document. But Shraj has also got the mandate to ensure that they play some oversight rules over the police. So at the end of the day, Shraj can also take it up. But I do not expect the police to share any documents. I mean, that has been the history. As we speak, the CHRI has actually sent a request for information over incidents that have happened quite a number of years ago on police brutality and what happened to the report and what is the status as we speak. It's, I think, out of about 20 cases that we received responses for only one or so, or two. And so, for me, I expect that this thing will probably be investigated. People might be sacked if they are found culpable, but no report will be shared as to what exactly happened. And that is where the challenge is. Because in this age, I think that when things are not done properly, some information should be shared so that it will deter others from doing it. Just sacking the person, fine. I mean, how many people would follow through to see who and who has been sacked? But if the information is shared, the document is shared, it will deter other officers from doing that. And it will also deter other civilians or people who behave untowardly towards the police to also be careful the way they react. So it will be a win-win situation.
Mr. Tobo, you initially said that you actually applaud the police for what they've been doing so far. I mean, in this particular case, and I haven't heard Mina talk about the fact that people do always feel that the police would always shield their own. What do you expect the police to do in this instant case? Do you still have Mr. Tobo? Mr. Tobo? All right, so thank you so much, Mina Mensah. She is with the Commission, Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, and Peter Tobo is a member of Parliament. He's also a former police officer. Mr. Tobo, now I have your attention. My question was that, having listened to Mina on the perception that the police would always cover their own, and you also saying that you really like the way the police has handled issues so far, what are your expectations for the police in this instant case? All right, so we lost Peter Tobo there, but the case has been made from both angles, and Mina actually wants an independent body to be investigating the police in such cases. Let's take